Everyone. Just grab one of these. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. We're in the final stretch now. Punal and I today are going to be talking to you about the topic of one-timers, and we're going to be sharing some strategies that you can implement to help keep your customers coming back. Let's dig into some numbers to explain the issue a little bit more. So why is the one-time cliff an issue for marketers? We took a cross-section of our clients across the world of e-commerce and gaming, and on average, only 50% of customers will return for that second transaction from the same brand. That's huge. 50% of your customers who purchased from you once will never purchase from you again. So we want to help you think of strategies in the ways that you can increase the number of second-timers. Therefore, we're going to present to you 3 key strategies that are used by you, our clients, that actually made a significant impact on the one-timer percentage. So using these strategies, we saw real results. We actually saw across these brands 60% increase in the number of second-time purchasers. And we want to show you how we did it so that you can take these strategies back to your business tomorrow and implement them yourselves. I'm David Hardy. I run our professional services organization at Optimove. I have a team of strategic consultants that partner with you to translate your key business challenges into CRM strategy.
Hi, I'm Punal. I'm Director of Professional Services. And think of us as part of the customer team to supercharge the value that you get from the product, as David mentioned, through bespoke insights, data science, activation. And so I guess passing over to you, David, to the agenda.
So we're going to talk to you today about the one-timer challenge. Right, that's the first thing. We're going to define what that actually means. We've shown you some stats, but we're going to talk about that in detail so you understand what we're talking about there and how it relates to you and your business. Then we're going to show you how you can overcome this challenge. We're going to talk about 3 key strategies. Strategies around personalized experiences, strategies around loyalty programs, and then strategies around how you can leverage zero-party data. And we're going to explain what zero-party data is. And then finally, we're going to give you lots of key takeaways so that, as I say, you can go back to your business tomorrow and you can implement these strategies.
So let's start by guiding you through what the one-timer cliff is. This can relate differently across each brand, each industry, but the concept is to avoid customers just to make a single purchase and getting them back for more. The aim of retention marketing, well, it's to guide a customer to make a repeat action after their first activity. So at the end of the day, we're looking to build retention, drive customer lifetime value, and identify how customer behaviors can be transposed to other customers with similar traits and mannerisms. So being immersed with numbers, you'll hear a lot of these nuggets from us today. David mentioned the 50%, and we've tried to break that down a little bit more to your relevant industries. So we assessed a cohort of customers across e-commerce and gaming, and looking at the respective single action purchases in customers then that did not return. What the data indicates is that for 55% of customers within e-commerce, purchases will only happen during once in their lifetime and from the same brand, but then never return. Whereas in the gaming industry, we do see a slight improvement with only 42% of customers placing a single deposit, but no subsequent deposit activity. So let that sink in for a moment. What we're saying here is that out of every 10 customers that you're spending money on acquiring, only 5 or 6 of them will return. So for many businesses, what this means is that 40 to 50% of expenses are sunk without further return. So have a think about this in the audience today. Do you feel like your numbers are better? And if they're not as good, then hopefully the next few strategies will give an indication of what you can do to apply this to your businesses every day. So why is it important to actually bring your customers back? Firstly, repeat customers are valuable as they generate a significant portion of the company's revenue. So these are the core customers, and what we can see from them is that they will increase their order amounts during their lifetime, or the deposits, they will increase over their lifetime. And actually, these customers who are core start to build the backbone of the segments that you start to think about for future customers and how to attract some similar behaviors as well. Secondly, serving existing customers is generally more cost-effective. It's more cost-effective than acquiring new ones. So with marketing budgets not being unlimited, it's essential to identify which dollar, euro, or pound should be spent to spend less existing customers. So what we want to see here is that the bottom line can be thought about from an investment point of view and use that towards the retention techniques. So last but not least, repeat customers have a higher lifetime value than your one-timers. If customers are hooked to your product, your brand, there's a higher chance that during their lifetime we can know that this will outweigh the benefits of the one-time customers and how their lifetime value is. Let's take this one level further for a moment. We looked at customers who made subsequent purchases and deposits and identified that when a customer makes their second purchase or deposit, the chances of making a third one dramatically increases to 34%. That's in comparison to the first to second deposit or purchase. So when you're acquiring a second-time customer, you're also acquiring third, fourth-time customers as well. And that's the concept of retention marketing taking place. So let's get into our case studies and our strategies. We've got 3 strategies that we see here that are very important in helping customers overcome their one-timer cliff. And actually, some of these can be used as you go back to your business and your teams. So David and I are going to play the role of the client and the strategist, and we'll share how some of our clients have driven retention. Let's start off with personalized experiences.
So the first strategy we want to share is how using personalized experiences relevant to your brand can help you encourage second-time purchases. And we're going to start by talking to you about a brand that I think we probably all know, but I'll give a short introduction to who they are. So SodaStream, a manufacturer of sparkling water machines with reusable bottles and different flavors. They operate in 18 different markets, and they sell in over 46 countries. One of their key marketing points that they want to drive home is that their reusable bottles have an environmental advantage. It stops people using single-use plastic bottles. And they wanted us to help them build personalized experiences around this key message. So Punal, how did we go about this?
Sure. So let's explain, first of all, what dynamic mail and dynamic content is before I go into the actual breakdown of this. So dynamic content is basically a way to have interactive content within emails, and the use case of this is that the content actually makes you or helps customers think about more personalized ways to engage them. And what we see is engagement rates, and actually the relevancy of the customers increases as well. So aligned with the environmental approach, we had a brainstorm session with SodaStream, and the idea behind this was actually to think about the 2 steps we can do to make sure that we can apply this to the customers on a day-to-day basis. So firstly, what we saw was that we wanted to make sure we highlighted the bottles that were saved per customer. And the second way to do this was to do this in emails on a regular basis so that every purchase related back to what that bottle save was. So what we can see here is that there's firstly the concept of A/B testing. We used the idea of having a banner and not having a banner, which had this dynamic content. The concept of A/B testing is a huge factor of how we can iterate and improve retention. So the performance of the dynamic banner was measured in an A/B test, where customers who had purchased the machine 12 days ago were then received a campaign with a banner and some without a banner. And actually, that was measured over a period of 3 days. What we saw within this is that customers that did receive a banner made a second purchase, and that was 62% more impactful versus those that did not receive a banner. Now, if we double-click into that and we think about the orders that were made as well, the average order made by customers that received a banner was 30% higher than those that did not receive a banner. So we're starting to think about it from a revenue point of view. From a campaign perspective, the totality of the campaign that had a banner basically increased impact by over 500%, and so 500% more revenue and order amount was driven through a second purchase that was made.
So a double whammy on that one. More second-time purchases and at a higher value. It's pretty cool. So the next strategy we're going to look at is loyalty programs. And we want to discuss how you can use loyalty programs to increase the number of customers or players that are going to return to your brand. So we're going to look at Hard Rock Sports and Casino. This is one of the Hard Rock brands that, again, we probably all know. It includes cafes, hotels, and casinos. The brand operates in an online casino with hundreds of games, including slots, table games, and video poker. They have a loyalty program called Rockin' Rewards. So it's an automatic enrollment loyalty program, and that means that every new customer that signs up automatically joins the loyalty program with no registration. And since there's no registration to the program, all first-timers will be included in it, and points are earned by wagering cash on more casino games.
So using this information about the loyalty program and referencing to that, Hard Rock started to think about how does this impact the customer's second deposit. So during a test, what we did was we looked at references of email loyalty programs and filtered on keywords within that email. And we used that to identify how to send emails to a specific cohort of customers. And then we excluded those similar kind of keywords and segments to another set of cohort of customers. Now, during that time, what we wanted to do was see which of these emails, whether referencing loyalty program or not referencing loyalty program, drove a second deposit. And what we can see is that almost 60% of customers receiving a campaign that referenced the loyalty program registered an activity of a second deposit. So this is in comparison to about 33% of customers that did make a second deposit but did not receive any reference to the loyalty program. That's almost a 76% increase from one campaign to another. So what we can see is using the reference of a loyalty program, whether it be to understand your VIPs or whether it's trying to figure out ways of concepts of where loyalty can be related, is another way to increase purchases and deposits.
So it's not just about having a loyalty program. It's about having loyalty strategies as well that can drive that second-time purchaser. OK, cool. So the third and final strategy we're going to talk to you about is leveraging zero-party data. First up, what is zero-party data? Well, zero-party data is data the customer freely provides to you as a company or a brand. It can include things like customer preferences, their purchase intentions, and any kind of personal context that can really help you build personalized communications. Examples of it are things like a quiz on a registration or a questionnaire that you're sending out to your customers. And the brand we're going to talk to you about today is AirUp. AirUp is a really cool brand, and I promise you we don't just work with water-based companies. We have many others. But AirUp is a really cool brand. So they have a hydration system that actually flavors the water through the scent. I didn't really believe that it worked until I saw it, and it does. They're here, so talk to them today and find out a bit more. They operate in 13 countries at the moment, and the brand wants to incorporate customer feedback into their campaigns. And we help them build a strategy around that.
So actually, Kathy alluded to this earlier in the talk. And what we're seeing here is that the purchase funnel doesn't just complete at the point of the purchase completion. The next stage to this is actually thinking about what it is that a customer could get to increase their experience, to think about what the follow-up would be. So in this instance, what happened is that the purchase got completed and a survey got sent out to customers. And Kathy mentioned earlier, one of the things that they sent was, what's the reason for the purchase? So was it to stay more hydrated? Was it a gift? Was it for your child? Or was it relevant to a trend setting? And actually, based on that, what we can start to do is think about the follow-up campaign that relates back to this. So a dedicated customer attribute was populated on the back of this, and therefore the follow-up campaign is based on the answer that was sent. So we can tailor the next communication based on the response. And what were the impact of these results? So within this, we saw campaigns that went out that had the relevant information of the survey and those that did not. And what we saw was that second-timers that received relevant content that was tailored from the survey had an increase of 36% of second-timers. And actually, there was more engagement from an open rate as well. So having opening an email was over 51% by customers that received something relevant from their survey. Now, part of this isn't just opening or getting a second purchase. It's about thinking about the long-term activity that you have with customers. And part of that is making sure that they don't unsubscribe. So in this instance, we saw that there's a drop of 68% of unsubscribe rates when you had something relevant for that messaging. So customers feel that they are being talked to, their experiences are being personalized to, and therefore we're starting to see their onboarding journey take a bigger tailored effect for them as well. So let's talk about what's in it for you. On the back of those three strategies, what is it that you can take away and what is it that you can learn and do? So we did cover three strategies applicable to your business, and each of those highlights an increase in second activity. Now, a loyalty program is a big jump, and maybe it's not something that you might want to be able to do straight away. But what about incorporating a survey to your next question on the back of a deposit or a purchase. Use that information to tailor your experience and think about how you can be more comfortable in overcoming that one-timer cliff. So I know that the strategic services team have more ideas, and we'd be more than happy to help you, and you can talk to us at the booth as well.
So look, we've seen 3 cool strategies there that you can use tomorrow. You can take these back to your team meetings, to your planning sessions, and you can really put these into practice, and we can help you do that. Look, that's what we really want you to do. We want you to help find your brand differentiator and connect with your customer. So if you need any more information, we'll be out in the networking hall, and we look forward to hearing from you. So thanks very much.